Hello, hello. Hi, gals. Welcome back to another week of Signature Self. And I am curious when people ask you to tell them about you, what are some of the things that you share? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that a bit today. All right. Today I am sharing with you about you. Funny enough, how am I going to share about you? So I will admit, for years, when people would ask me to tell them about myself, I didn't know what to say. And, in talking with some amazing ladies like Coco, Cosette Leary, many of you know her. One of the things that we talked about over the years was when you ask that question, so often the answer you would get is, well, I'm a mom, or I'm a wife, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. And yes, your roles that you play are certainly a big part of who you are. That being said, so often we see it that that is all that women identify themselves as. And that is what broke our hearts. We saw that women need to be able to recognize that they are so much more than just their roles that they play. So, one year I got to MC one of her events, Go Buy Yourself Some Flowers. And one of the reasons that I love that is because the topics that we discussed were all about learning to be you, learning when someone says, tell me about yourself, how to answer that question. So, in the Signature Self, we do go through 3 topics regularly: discover you, dump the junk, and design your ideal life. And I really truly believe that those 3 are connected. They don't just go one after the other, but that is the order that I do them in. They are completely interconnected. And discovering more about yourself helps you to understand you so that when you design your ideal life, you know what you want, you see it. It's like when you buy the car, right? And then you recognize that car all over the place. It's because now you see it. It's defined in your head. You know what it looks like, right? And so once you have that defined, you see that all around you. And the same is so true of when you discover yourself, because you're defining yourself. You're defining what you want, what things should look like for you. What are your non negotiables, your deal breakers, the things that you want in your life? And so recognizing that helps you to then take that information and build what you want to build. I love to look at this in terms of different pieces of who we are. And we did talk about a few months ago, I apologize, I'm looking at my notes here. What are some of the jobs that you've done, the accomplishments, the things you maybe have volunteered? What are skills that you have learned over the years? What are your passions, your values, the things that are important to you? But also, what about other things like your gifts and your talents? I had a fantastic conversation today. And sometimes when you're having these conversations, things just come to you and you have to say them, right? You just have to let it out. And that happened to me today. And what it was beautiful words, words of life that I felt I needed to speak into this lady, to this gal that I was speaking with. And I love that because we tend to not see these things about ourselves, right? And by the way, hi, Don. Hi, Patty Lynn. Thank you for joining me, ladies. So I do actually have a worksheet for us, and let me go ahead and pull this up. I did put this in the Gals free Facebook group. If you have not joined Gals, I would love to invite you to do so. We have many, many things going on, including fun stuff. Like I'm pretty sure they're setting up a bingo and going to go dressed up as the Golden Girls. We also have a very fun welcome sequence that we are setting up right now, and we'll have that up and running very soon. And we're really looking at equipping women to not only make friendships, but to nurture and continue to build those relationships over time. That has become a new, just this year, mission that we are on. So let me go ahead and share this with you really quickly. So yes, you can find this in the Gals group for free. It is a free group. All right, here we go. So looking through this is a very simple worksheet, nothing really complicated. I just want you to have a place to put this information. And I will show you, I've shown this many times, what I want you to do with this, and I really want you to do this. I can't stress how much I want you to. Print out the worksheets that I have put in Gals. Get yourself a pretty binder that you like. Maybe it's not pretty and glittery like mine, but one that you like and that you will keep your stuff in and return to. And go and put this information in there, because it is a living, breathing document. It is not something that you fill out one time and then you leave it and you never go back to. No. Keep this near you so that when you think of things later on that you didn't think of originally, you can go and put those in there. So a couple of things that I want you to look at, we've already listed several things, as I mentioned earlier, is one of them, the beautiful things about you. You may need to phone a friend for this one. I'll be honest. Sometimes we're not very good at recognizing this about ourselves, right? So whatever you need to do, call a friend, maybe somebody close to you, maybe you put it, I've had people do this, I've done it myself. We put it out on Facebook. What are some words that you think of about me? And I have not seen this turn awry. I know a lot of people get afraid of like rejection, or they might say something bad, but I have seen this be a beautiful thing over and over and over again. I have my clients do this, and I know it's scary. That's why I do it myself. But ask what the beautiful things are. And today I will share with you, I'm not going to share with you who I was talking to. That is obviously confidential and between us. But one of the words that hit me differently today, and it kept coming to my mind, was voluptuous. But it wasn't just about this person's looks. It was actually their entire being, their personality, their message, their who they are, the things they enjoy, the things that they like. Voluptuous was the word that came to mind for this person, and I wanted her to fully feel it, receive it, and accept it, because that's what we have to do. That's what this list is for. So another word that I for years had in my mind for me, but I was unable to receive it and to accept it, was exuberant. That word for me, when I first started to hear it, gave me fear, made me feel unworthy, because I actually didn't feel that way. I knew I could be that person, but I didn't feel that way. So this list, you may need to borrow from somebody else's confidence about you, but please do ask a friend, ask somebody close to you, because the words that they will give you, I want you to truly let them resonate with you. Let them soak in, let them simmer, feel them, receive them, accept them, because I want you to be able to move forward in those words. The word exuberant is now a word that I live out regularly. I not only accepted it, but I've moved forward with my future and designing my ideal life with that word as something that I make sure I show up in regularly. So it helps me to know, like, if I'm going to be going to, let's say, a networking event, or I'm going to go be an MC, or I'm just going to go meet somebody, I can bring that exuberance, that honest authenticity that people like about me. The fun, really, that was another one. The fun that I bring to each situation, I bring that with me wherever I go. So I really want you ladies to fill this out for yourself. The next one is kind of easier, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't belong on the same page. I don't know. I felt like these are really fun things about yourself that you could share with people. For example, your gifts, talents, and hobbies. I would say write as many of these as you could possibly think about on this page. Many of us have many things. Thank you, Don Renee. I appreciate that. I do the fun. So do you. I love it. I love it. So gifts, talents, and hobbies, where this one could be easy, it can also be a little bit difficult, especially in gifts. I've noticed, and talents actually. I have noticed a lot of us have a hard time saying these things about ourselves. But let's just be very honest. What are some of your gifts and talents? For example, I actually have an excellent voice. I am an excellent singer. I can mimic and impersonate, and I can sing. I really enjoy it. In fact, I love karaoke. I've learned through my sales job a gift that I didn't even know was a gift or that I had. I love, love, love calling people. And I love cold calls, I'll admit. It's absolutely somewhat of an arch nemesis of mine. I'm working on that, but I love calling people. You got someone that you need to call and ask a question, or you've got a list of people that you're like, I just don't have time to call these people, or maybe it gives you anxiety, but they've said they want to work with you or whatever. If you're a business owner, give me that list. I'll give them a call. I have no problem with that whatsoever. In fact, I enjoy it. I build relationships that way. And that is a part of my mission in life, is to make an impact and to be a resource for people. And so that helps fill that. I create lots of relationships. I love following up. I love doing all of that stuff. And I'm learning that's a gift. It's something that I can market. So what are some of your gifts? It doesn't have to be business related. I am also really great at home design. I can take ideas, put them together, mesh them up, and draw out a design. And right now I have one in the living room that is coming together, which I'm super excited about. Finally, almost finished. But I'm really good at that. That is a gift and a talent. What else? Oh, another gift and talent. So maybe some of these are silly. And I did say, even if it's silly, put it on here. And I will not share this one with you guys as far as demonstrating it. I am really good. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm sharing this. This is a talent. If I went on America's Got Talent, maybe this would be something I would do. And you guys would all be shocked to see me do this. I can do absolutely ridiculous laughs. I'm very good at it. I've only done it for one or two people ever in my life, but I'm quite good at it. And I probably could do voiceover, because I'm really good at just doing these really ridiculous, silly voices and laughs. So there you go. You guys have it. I can't believe I just said that out loud, but I'm sharing it. So there you go. And then hobbies. What things do you enjoy? That can be crafts and hobbies. I know they're kind of different categories, but what things do you enjoy doing? Scrapbooking, knitting, crocheting. Gosh, there's just so many things out there anymore. You go on TikTok and there's like a gajillion things. Painting, DIYs, floral design. Fashion design. Helping people just style themselves. What kinds of things do you enjoy doing? So the purpose of all of these lists is not just to have a gajillion lists about yourself, right? That's not it. The purpose is to take these things that you've written down over time, your accomplishments, the things that you have done, and to your gifts, your talents, your hobbies, beautiful things about you, words that people would say about you, I want you to build the confidence that will help you to move forward in your life. Even the dumping the junk, which is helping yourself, basically getting help with things that you need help with, whether, it can be something like getting counseling, but it can also be something like maybe something you want to learn. Maybe there's some classes that you want to take, or, I don't know. It's totally, everyone is different. But taking those things, recognizing who you are, moving forward with confidence, and then giving yourself the permission to live in those things so that you can start to create the life that you want to create. Now, how does that look tangibly? Because you're probably like, okay, so I know these things about myself. How does that help me to design the life that I want? Well, some examples can be like in your work. Sometimes when you've written down your deal breakers and non-negotiables, that can actually help you either to choose the career that you want, career, job, business, whatever that is. But it can also help you to look at the job that you might be currently doing. And maybe you like your job just fine. I like that. I think that's great. But maybe there's a couple of things that you're like, ooh, I put on my non-negotiables that I don't want to take, I don't want to work 60 hours a week. And maybe because of, changes in your workplace or different reasons and situations, you've been doing that for the last couple of years. Those usually creep up on you, right? Like it doesn't start that way sometimes. Sometimes all of a sudden you're just working an extra hour here, an extra hour there, and it just creeps up and just kind of gets to this place where you're like, what the heck? When did I start working 60 hours a week? It's just become like the norm. Well, it might be time to have a conversation, right? It might be time to say, hey, I want to keep working here, but I cannot continue to do this at 60 hours a week. I need some balance. I need to be around my kids more or whatever, my spouse, my partner. I just need balance. You don't even have to tell them why, but I can't do that anymore. Or maybe there's just something that doesn't fit your personality quite right and you're struggling with it. For me, that was admin. I can do admin. I don't love it and I'm not great at it. I'm not consistent with it, but I can do it. But I have had jobs where somehow that became my main role, maybe because I could, but just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. And that was what I had to realize with that job was like, no, this is not a fit for me, and figuring out what would be a fit and how I could still benefit the company. I'm fantastic at this piece. I'm not fantastic at this piece, and just making that work. And we did. Having the conversation was not easy, but because I knew I needed to change that or I was ready to leave, that changes the conversation. I didn't have anything to lose in that scenario. So knowing these things about yourself, all of these things that we've compiled over time. And in fact, I think next week is it's not the last week. I think we have 2 more weeks of this, of the Discover You. The whole point of all of this is for you to know and understand yourself as well as you can so that you can gain confidence. So I did put in the PDF. I don't actually think I put it in this description, video description, but I do have your Design Your Ideal Life consultation. Feel free to reach out to me if you would like to take me up on that. You get an assessment, which is super duper helpful. The Design Your Ideal Life assessment can help you to know your behaviors and personality, both, so that you can tailor your life strategy, your habits. I mean, there's so much we can do with this. Communication, motivation. I mean, it goes layers and layers and layers and layers of uses with this assessment on how you can use it. And then you also get a consultation with me, in which I usually can guarantee at least 3 steps for moving forward with designing your ideal life. All right. But of course, if you have questions or comments, feel free to put them in here. You can always reach out to me. You don't have to do a consultation with me to reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have to the best of my ability. But I love helping women to design their signature self by doing these steps. So I would love to hear from you guys if you have any questions. And feel free to comment and let me know any of the answers that you have to any of these. What are some beautiful things about yourself? What are some gifts, talents, and hobbies that you have? Let's make sure, please. In fact, this is what I said today to somebody else. Don't let a year go by without taking action on this, because I would hate, this is the thing I would hate, is for us to be having a conversation a year from now and you telling me, oh man, I heard you talking about that. I wanted to take action on it, but I was whatever it is, too afraid. I didn't feel like I was ready, or whatever that is. I know the right timing is, key, but also I just want you to get some leeway on this. I want you to gain some ground. And thank you, Don Renee. Let's definitely set that up. You are doing awesome stuff. I love it. And that's what I love to help women do. I love you to be able to gain your purpose, to be able to work in your purpose. It is amazing the energy that you have when you are doing that. So, all right, ladies, have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next week, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.